Right there. The name of the song is Chill Out. And indeed, we're chilling out at a very beautiful place that's going to be giving us great news today. It's a pleasure for me to be here for starters. This is the beauty of being on the radio. There's actually a TV as well. So because you can be able to see us on Saturdays, the channel is 243. And of course, the traditional way is going by 106.1 Next Radio. As well as online, it's www.nextradio.co.ug/live. Better still, you could catch us on the Afro mobile app. Anywhere you feel like, you'll find us on the TV section and on the radio section, because we are the radio that gives you the vibe. Let's have the vibe started. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And I will let you introduce yourself better to all our viewers and our listeners, and we'll pick it right from there.
Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Muffaddal Yeolawala. I am the MD of Universal Group of Companies. We are the leading affordable housing company in Uganda. We have completed 2,200 units.
Wow.
And 1,000 units are being constructed at this point.
1,000 units are now being constructed as of now.
Yes, please.
So the other
2,200
that are finished, are they already occupied?
Yes, they are occupied. People are staying there. And they are more than happy.
Well, I want to understand that, bringing affordability in this COVID situation is one thing that every customer and every other business would be looking out for.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, how is the COVID situation, how has it impacted or even affected your programming of, providing affordable housing to all the Ugandans? How has COVID really affected this business?
First of all, COVID has somehow or the other affected all businesses, like you can say, around the world.
That's very true.
Okay. In Universal, in affordable housing segment, what we have tried to do is keep the cost of the unit as it was before, cost of manufacturing, cost of construction of that unit as it is before, so that ultimately we don't change the end product which we are giving to the clientele. Mm-hmm. It should not become out of their affordability segment. That is the reason why in this year, during the COVID pandemic, just before the second wave came in, we have launched a project which has a one bedroom at only 90 million shillings. And by God's grace and the economy of Uganda is so buoyant, we have had an overwhelming response, and we are looking at having another project very soon with the same pricing.
Well, you see, why I ask that question is particularly because maybe earlier, the income flow was really steady and very okay. Mm-hmm. But now that some businesses have been put on hold, isn't that a hold back on your other business? Because somebody who was able to, afford previously because they had a steady cash flow, now cannot be able to pay for the 95, million house for, the 185 for. That's my question for, hasn't COVID affected you in that way?
You mean to say in the cash flow system?
Yes.
Definitely it has affected us in the cash flow system, and we as a company, our aim is that as a company we don't take interest and we don't give interest. So we cannot borrow from a bank. So what we do is, as an investor, we have to invest more, and as I said before, try and reduce on the overheads as much as possible, reduce on the costing of manufacturing, so that the investment which we are doing also is limited, and the output, the product which is coming out, is the same. And coming back to the second part of your question, which is saying that clientele who cannot afford the same amount, is what has happened is that the people who are buying units have become a little more cautious, and the uptake of some of the heavy-ended products which we have has been a little slower as before. But the most affected part is where people had already booked. People had booked even before
the second wave,
before the first wave, or during the first wave they had booked, and they did not expect the second wave, or they did not expect the first wave to come in, and it has come in and it has affected them somehow.
Yes.
So that is the very, very critical part which we are monitoring with our clientele. We are giving them flexibility. client, if he has an installment plan of like 5 million a month, and a client is having going through a difficult patch,
Yes.
where they are having a family member who is in COVID situation, we give them a chance to pay whatever they feel like. For example,
What they can afford at that
yeah, whatever they can afford. Like if they can pay like 1 million shillings, 2 million shillings, and then again a 500,000 shillings, it's okay. We are trying to be as flexible as possible, trying to make ourselves even more affordable, but not on the manufacturing, on the sales side, but on the cash flow side for the clientele.
Well, now that you talk about flexibility, and you on the other side of providing the service to the clients, you're trying to be as flexible as possible. But there's somebody who's not figuring it out on how flexible they can be to as of why and how they should buy a unit in this situation, in this pandemic. So what explanation would you give, or what advice would you give to that person? Why and how can someone be able to acquire a unit for themselves, especially in this way that we know it's actually affordable? The question number one is how, and number two is why would you advise actually somebody to go for that?
How can be answered, how can they buy an affordable house? It can be answered in two ways. Okay? First is that they can come and do a booking fee, which we have as low as 5 million shillings, and then they get a 12-month, depending on them and depending on the product.
All right, so the booking fee is 5 million shillings.
5 million shillings, and the
That is
installment
on
goes
whatever project.
whatever project, whatever unit, you can come and block the unit with 5 million. Then you pay your other installments as discussed, as stipulated by the sales team, and then you keep on paying your monthly installments.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And the second part of the question is how. How, when you can pay, is that you can go by paying by yourself and go through a bank for a mortgage. We are right now, Universal is in memorandum of understanding with all the major banks. You can name it, like Housing Finance, Stanbic, DFCU.
Okay.
Bank of Africa, Centenary, Standard Chartered, Stanbic Bank, all these banks, we have an understanding with them, and they give special preference to universal clientele. You will get a special discounted interest pricing from them, and then they can go and take a mortgage wherever they are comfortable, and they can then manage it for a 15-year time with the bank. And the bank clears us, and they can then manage.
They keep balancing themselves with their client.
With the bank, yes.
Now, in this pandemic and this situation, I'm one person who believes that oftentimes, if you want to do something, have it done. Do not postpone. Do not take it even further. So what are the advantages of buying now, and I don't have to wait for maybe next year? What's the biggest advantage for if I want to buy?
See, this attitude of yours is the best. You see, right now, in any investor perspective, right? When you're buying a house, you are an investor. At an investor's perspective, this is the best time to buy. Why? Because all the people who are giving you a service, who are giving you some product, who is ready to give you something where you want to invest in, is at a receiving end of all the issues. So you can dominate. You can tell them, boss, I need 18 months period payment plan. So what will happen is the investor will come to his knees, and then a seller will come to his knees and give you what you need. So you can be in a dominating situation, come forward, buy a unit at a better payment terms or a better term, where you can make sure that you get a house and be very comfortable in your place. Chitagera.
And now, you see, the kind of business that you're running calls for every single day. There's a young man who's come out of university. There's a man who's gotten his retirement package. There's a woman out there who says, and I now want to build a house for my mom. And surely affordable housing would be the place to go for.
Okay.
But again, maybe someone out there are not yet acquainted or not yet brought to the awareness of there's actually a team that can make this happen, that can bring your dream to life, but they don't know. So what exactly are you doing to make yourself so visible? I don't want to only say in Kampala, because if it is growing, then it could even be elsewhere in Uganda. So you as affordable housing, what exactly are you doing to make yourself so visible so you can render your services to every other client out there who actually needs the services?
My boss, I thought that to make ourselves visible, I am talking to you. So Next Radio is one of the places to go, guys. For you to get a visibility, Next Radio is an upcoming radio station. It is nice, it is known. People like it, youngsters like it, elderly like it, all kind of people or listen to it. So we are trying to do this. This is one part of it. We are having our Facebook page, Affordable Housing, our website. We have recently launched an application. I think so. We are the only real estate company in Uganda which has an application which gives you an update of what products are there by Universal. Because Universal is the only company which has a menu to offer from. You get a 1-bedroom, you get a 2-bedroom, you get a 3-bedroom. You get it in Nalia, you get it in Najera, you get it in Kololo, you get it in Muyenga, you get it in Chirega.
Kololo is my place.
Come and buy a house, my brother. So what I will make sure is by the end of this program, he has to give us a check.
My boss is watching as well.
Please.
They need to increase my pay so I can come to you.
In that way, no problem. See, that is what I said. This is the cash flow. I will manage it for you, my brother. Whatever is your pay scale, do not hesitate to come to Universal. We will try and make it possible for you to buy a house, period.
That actually answers my question, because my next question was, are you specific on, for example, if I come to you and I need a house, I want to buy, maybe you need to look through how much money I earn, and they'll say, no, this one we might not be able to sort this guy. We want people who earn from A, B, C, D. Or it is at any amount, as long as I commit to saying every end of month or every month, this is how much I'll pay. I've talked to my bank. We can, sort ourselves out. It does not matter how much I earn.
See, important is that with affordability housing is that if I try and scrutinize a lot with you, the concept of affordability will be lost. You understand?
Yes.
As I have repeated, I'm sorry, I'm repeating again, flexibility in these times of pandemic is very critical. If I try and make it difficult, I can make it very difficult, but ultimately I will make it difficult for myself, because I will ultimately not have clientele. So what I'm trying to do is that, what as company, I mean that Universal is trying to do is that making sure that we are even more accessible to you, to people of local Ugandans who have only a dream of buying a house, or even before thought that they cannot even buy a house. You understand? You just need to have a steady payment, income, and the rest, that is why we have an MOU with the banks, that affordability has to reach to the local Ugandan. So when we do an MOU, we tell them that you have to give them a special preference and make sure that you make it easy, not difficult.
So guys, keywords: affordability, flexibility, and trying by all means to make sure that we make it easy for you. Now, for me, it is all about you have a dream to have a home, but maybe you're being held back by, it needs a lot of money, I do not have it at the same time. So now the deal is actually here at Affordable Housing. All you have to do is come through, and once again, if you could get us to where we can find you, maybe on Facebook, on Twitter, all the other platforms, or even your website. I'm more interested in the app. Let's begin with the social media.
Our application is affordablehousing.ug. Affordable Housing is the application. You can Google it. You can come us. Our website is www.affordablehousing.ug. Okay, there are too many people having similar words with ours. But our website is affordablehousing.ug. Our Facebook page is also Affordable Housing. Our Instagram is Universal53. And when you go to our website also, you will get all our links to our Twitter handle and all the handles. And you can come and visit us at our head office. It is in Naguru Intinda 2 Road, 36B. Or on our website, there are phone numbers of our sales team. There is of our contact of our admin, our reception. Anywhere you try and call, we will try and serve you and make sure, as you mentioned, a dream of a person to buy a house comes through Universal.
Absolutely. So through Universal, you could be able to get your house
via Next Radio.
But yes, indeed. And in case you want to know more about this, it's always on 106.1 Next Radio, being a place that being with the MD. Now, just before we leave, just before we step out of this particular one, I've actually been asking a question of one of the people here that were taking very good care of us. I work with so many companies. Where I work, it's all about the mics and, you know, being on TV. So end of year, sometimes employee of the year is given like a TV screen, very big TV screen. I don't know. I could be looking for a place to come and work here. Maybe end of year, I could be given a land title or even a unit somewhere if I am employee of the year. Is that possible? I need to find the shortest shortcut. Okay. Not just the shortcut, but the shortest shortcut.
Manage, man. Yeah. You are the man. I'm telling you, his boss needs to take care. I will steal him.
It's been a pleasure having you. I must say thank you very much.
No problem.
And I love the fact that when we stepped in here, there was a big caution of both. Hello, you're very welcome, but please first wash your hands, sanitize, and we can proceed. It's in the hardest of times, but even in the hardest of times, we can have the greatest of our dreams achieved. Do not forget that. So as you're dreaming to have your house, as you're dreaming to come through, to have your dream brought alive by affordable housing, please remember, keep that mask on, wash your hands, sanitize, socially distance. We still need you alive because we need to have your dream brought to life. Thank you very much, Mr. MD.
Yes.
And we do appreciate it. We'll always come through over and over again.
Please,
for so many
you're always
discussions.
welcome. You're always welcome. You can come and ask as many questions. Most important is do not hesitate to come and visit. Right now during this pandemic, we are organizing our own vans, which will come and pick you in a most sanitized way, take you to the site, show you the place, and drop you back to your place. So please don't worry, we are there for you. Anything, let us know.
Absolutely true. And I want to believe maybe also on the app, your land title would actually be delivered if you just click deliver.
We'll come and deliver, no problem.
That we need to include.
No problem.
Thank you very much. And of course, keep it 106.1 Next Radio. Do enjoy yourselves of the vibes. This should be the time as you dance and enjoy yourself. Just believe it in yourself. Your house is coming your way and in the most affordable way.
Thank you.